Hi folks, and welcome back. I'm down in Cornwall this week to see my mate Ginge. We're staying in this beautiful little woodland here that Ginge has access to. KK he calls it, Camp Krusty, very aptly named. And I thought that while we're here, I'd do a bit of cooking. I'm going to cook us up some Cornish Pasties as we're here in Cornwall, and we can have them for our lunch. Ginge has built this fantastic little fireplace in his camp, which I'm going to make use of. So I'll get a fire lit in a little while. I brought some logs down with me. I don't want to go stripping wood out of this this small woodland. So yeah, I brought some logs down from the farm where Ginge is at the moment. He's just up there doing a few bits and pieces on the farm. He's gonna join us a bit later on for the tasting, I think. But before I get the fire lit, I'm gonna make the pastry because that needs a bit of time to cool down. So I've brought my cool bag with me with some ice blocks in there, so that once I've made the pastry, that can go in there and cool so that it becomes a bit firmer. It's really hard to roll this pastry out when it's at kind of ambient temperature, so cooling it makes it much easier. Right, in this bag here I've got strong white bread flour. It's a short crust pastry, but for a Cornish pasty it needs to have some elasticity so it doesn't break. So it needs to have a bit of stretch. So strong white flour. I'm going to add to that some salt. I'll put all the quants in the description box below, so you can check there. I'm going to give that a little mix up. Then to that I'm going to rub in some lard and some butter. Has to be Cornish butter, except no substitutes. I need 60 grams, so it's going to be about a quarter of that pack of butter. And same of lard, so it's a 200 gram block, so it's going to be just a bit over a quarter, something like that. Just going to cut these into cubes. It makes it a bit easier to sort of rub it into the flour. Well, I say cubes. Add them to the flour here. Just mix that up in the bag. Saves getting quite so much mess all over me. Oops. And I've got to rub that together until I've got something that resembles breadcrumbs. Spend a bit of time doing this, just breaking all that butter down and that lard. And once you're happy that you've got something that is breadcrumb-like, it's time to add the water. 90 mils of cold water, so I've got some chilled water in this little insulated bottle here, which I'm going to measure out using Ginge's cup. This is a bit of guesswork because the markings on Ginge's cup start at 200 mils, so I've got to kind of guess what's just under half of that. Something like that, I think. And in that goes. I'm going to put in half and then mix, and then put the other half in. Again, mixing up in the bag. And once you've given it a bit of a mix, turn it out. And you can carry on mixing it out of the bag. It's a bit easier. And then, unlike other short crust pastries, it needs to be kneaded like you would if it was like a bread dough, and that just gives it all a bit of stretch. If it's a bit too wet still, you can add more flour. I'm going to put that in a clean Ziploc bag and then get that in my cold bag here to chill down for a bit. I'll flatten it out a bit in the bag just to help. The thinner it is, the quicker it will cool. bonus. These are birch logs that I'm using, so I'm just going to make use of some of the birch bark. Peel some bits off. I can use that to get the fire going. Right, I've got my veg here, so I've got potatoes, waxy potatoes. New potatoes are ideal. I've got Swede, although the Cornish call it a turnip, but to everybody else it's a Swede, or if you're in North America, I think you call this a rutabago. 75 grams of onion, there'll be some seasoning, salt and pepper, and beef skirt, 200 grams of beef skirt. So I'm going to get all this chopped up, peel the spuds, get them chopped up into little cubes, chop the meat into little cubes, and it actually cooks inside the pastry, so I don't need to cook it first. I'll just put it all in raw, seasoned, and then as it's cooking, the contents inside, they cook as well. So there's all my chopped veg. Put all that in this billy can here, this billy pot. And I'll cut the meat. And that can go in as well. And a good old dollop of pepper. And salt. Give that a good old mix up. Mix the seasoning through. Filling's all prepped, and I've put the reflector oven together and sat it by the fire to start warming up. Since I last used this oven, I've added a thermometer, one of those where you drill a hole through and it pokes through with a little wing nut, just to try and take some of the guesswork out of it. You know, obviously you can see what you're cooking in it and you can gauge it by how well it's browning, and you can use your hand, but I thought it would be a bit more accurate if I actually had a thermometer on there. I know they're not 100% accurate, but it should be, yeah, should give me a bit of an idea, and hopefully I'll get the timing right. If you were doing this at home, it would be 165 degrees, so I'd like to try and get it somewhere close, and I can move the reflector oven in and out and adjust the temperature that way depending on how close it is to the fire. So yeah, I'll let that warm up, see how the pastry's doing in a bit, and then I can start rolling it out and doing the tricky bit, which is the crimping, trying to make it look like a Cornish pasty. Brilliant. I'm going to use my billy can lid as a rough guide. The billy can is 16 centimetres, 160 mil in diameter, but I want it to be a little bit bigger than that, so I'm just kind of estimating and going slightly bigger. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly circular. And I'm going to get some filling in, just into half of it. Oops. Fold over. Oops. Filling spilling out. Disaster. This is the bit that I was worried about. I watched a YouTube video on how to do it and, well, I couldn't really make head or tail of it, to be honest. Okay, there you go. Cornish pasty number 1. Brush them with a little egg, so they go nice and golden and glazed. Please don't hate me, Cornwall. Well, that's it, they're in, and they're going to take 50 minutes if I can keep the temperature at roughly 165. The temperature did drop off a bit when I moved the oven away from the fire to put the pasties in, but it's creeping back up again now, so yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see how they come out. Hey dude.
Dude, are you alright?
Yeah, good. How's it going?
Oh, excellent.
Get everything done?
Yeah, everything's done. Caravan's washed, etc, etc. So, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it all going here?
All right, all right.
Right, let's push this on.
Yeah, they're in. They're cooking.
Right. Excellent.
They're starting to brown up a little bit.
Honestly, coming down the hill, I thought, I can smell pasty, you
Can
know.
you?
Yeah, yeah, I can smell them coming down the hill, honestly.
Oh, well, that's a good start. Anyway.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah. But do they look proper?
Proper.
Oh, they do look proper. Oh, they look terrific, man.
Oh, you've got the cone of shame on. Oh, poor old buddy. Right, I'm going to call that done. Fingers crossed.
They look so good, dude. Hey, brilliant.
It's probably going to be red hot.
That is proper. Look at that. Oh, well done, dude. That's
Well,
amazing.
we'll see. See whether it's as good as a Ginsters, shall we?
Oh, you've got something to live up to.
Don't know why I'm eating that. Picking up a knife and fork to eat it with.
God, they're going to be red hot, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they smell like a Cornish pasty.
Certainly do. Oh. They are good. They are good, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, that's proper, dude. Really. Lovely. Oh, man. I think you should move to Cornwall. You've got a job. Just funny, I like that. Like the pastry at the bottom, I love it. It's a bit like, you know, the Frey Bentos pastry, when you get the crispy bit off top. I love that bit underneath where that sort of soft pastry is.
Just it's a little bit gooey, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's.
Because it's, I guess, steamed with the veg and stuff, isn't it? Half pasty, half dumpling.
Sounds like a rock band from the 80s, doesn't it?
Well, they came out way better than I expected. I was a little bit nervous of putting them together in the crimping and, you know, getting the timing right, because you can't obviously see into them while they're cooking, and also, you know, being a Norfolk boy, cooking a Cornish pasty in Cornwall. But I've got an honorary, almost, you know, Cornish man here.
Yeah, half Cornish man.
half Cornish.
Yeah, I've only been here 17, 18 years or more, so another 30 years and I'm in.
So you've had plenty of Cornish pasties then?
I've had loads, dude, and you know I would say this, wouldn't you, anyway, but they were fabulous, dude.
Thank you very
they were
much.
perfect, really were.
Cornish pasties for dinner. What's not to love? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Here we go, boys. Can't have you two going without. Lots of pastry. Yum, yum.
If I wag my tail, I'll have some more pastry.